So good morning dear students. Today we will learn about the skeletal system in human beings. The skeletal system is also known as skeleton, and it is the framework of bones inside our body. Various bones are present inside our body, and this framework of bones forms the skeleton or the skeletal system. Whenever you will touch your hands, okay, or your legs, your chest, your head, your feet, you will feel the hard material in the body. This hard material is the bone that is present inside our body. That's why humans have got an internal skeleton. Humans have an internal skeleton because the bones are present inside our body. And the adult human being is made up of 206 different bones. And when a newborn baby is there, okay, and when a baby is newborn, then you can see the skeleton of a newborn baby. This newborn baby has 306 bones. Now how these 300 bones convert into 206 bones? So what happens is these bones, they fuse together and become less as the baby grows. So these 300 bones are converted into 206 bones in the adult human being. Now, what are the functions of the skeleton? So, the first function of the skeleton is that it supports the body and helps to keep its shape. The shape of the human body is maintained because of the skeleton. In this slide, you can clearly see this baby has no bones in his body. So, what happens is this as bones are not present, so there is no structure of the body and there is no shape of the body. So the first function of skeleton is that it supports the body and it keeps the shape of the body. Now the second, the most important function is that the skeleton, it protects the vital, we can say the important organs of our body. In this slide you can see this brain is protected, the lungs and the heart is also protected. So all the soft organs of the body are protected by this skeleton, means they are protected by the bones of the body. The third function is bones along with the muscles helps to move our body parts. We can move because of the bones. When the bones, they combine with the muscles, they help our body to move. Now we will study about the parts of skeleton. So a skeleton consists of many parts. The first most important part is the skull. The skull protects the brain and forms the framework of our face. In this picture you can see this is the skull. It protects the brain and it forms the framework, means the structure of our face. Now this skull is a bony framework, means it is made up of all the bones that gives the head its characteristic shape. The shape of our head is due to the skull bone. Now the function of the skull is that it protects the soft and the vital tissues of the head, particularly the brain. The most important function of the skull is that it protects the brain. It protects the brain, and the skull is made up of 22 bones. It is made up of 22 bones, of which 8 bones protect the brain. The 8 bones of the skull protect the brain, and rest of the 14 bones are present in the face. The rest 14 bones are present in the face. Now all these bones of the skull are very hard and thick. They are very hard and thick, and none of the bone can move except the lower jaw. This you can see in white color structure below the teeth. Okay, means the lower part of our face, the part of the chin, that is the lower jaw, and only that part of the skull is movable and rest of the part is immovable, that cannot move. Due to this movable bone of the lower jaw, we can talk, we can chew, we can sing, or whatever we do, it is due to the lower jaw that is movable. The eye sockets. The eye sockets protect the eyes. You can see in this picture very clearly the eye sockets are present that protects the eyes. And the bones of the ear that are the smallest bone in the body. These are also the part of skull bone. So if the question is asked, name the smallest bone in the body, so it is the bones of the ear, or the ear bones are the smallest bones in our body. So this is what skull is. The next is the rib cage, and this rib cage protects two organs of our body, that are heart and the lungs. They are protected by the rib cage, and this rib cage is formed by 12 pairs of bow-shaped bones called the ribs. 12 these are formed of ribs. The 12 pairs means total of 24 bones, and these 12 pairs of ribs, they are attached to the backbone. They are attached to the backbone, but only the 10 pairs of ribs, means 20 ribs, they are attached to the breastbone or the sternum. 20 are attached to the breastbone, also known as sternum, that is present in the front. You can see this green color structure is the sternum. The blue colors are the ribs. And as two ribs are not attached to the sternum, so they are called as floating ribs, means 4 bones of the ribs, means 4 ribs are floating ribs. And this rib cage moves during the process of breathing. Rib cage, it moves during the process of breathing, and the chest cavity expand and contract when we breathe. When you breathe in air, the chest cavity expand, मतलब फैल जाता है वो, and when you breathe out, it contracts back. So this is what rib cage is. Now the third one, the part of the skeleton, the third part of the skeleton is backbone, also known as vertebral column. So this backbone, as you can see in this picture very clearly, the upper end is attached to the skull and the lower end is attached to the hip. So one end of the backbone is attached to the skull and the other end is attached to the hip bone, and it is made up of 33 small bones called vertebrae. It is made up of 33 small bones called the vertebrae, and singular form is the vertebra. And the main function of the backbone is that it protects the spinal cord. It protects the spinal cord. And this backbone, it is attached with the strong back muscles that helps our body in holding us erect. We keep our body straight due to the presence of backbone. And we are able to bend our body, we are able to twist our body due to the presence of backbone. Due to the presence of backbone. See, this is the vertebral column or the backbone of a newborn baby, it is not that well developed. So now we can bend and twist our body with the help of backbone, because this backbone is made up of small bones joined together. It is made up of small bones joined together, and if this backbone is made up of a single long bone, then it will be difficult for us to bend our body. That's why this backbone is made up of small bones joined together. Now you can see it is made up of 33 bones. Now this next one is the human ribs are of 12 pairs. This is just a revision. It is made up of 12 pairs, means total of 24 ribs. See, this is the sternum or the breastbone. You can see this breastbone clearly. Okay, so now the next type is the limbs. These limbs are divided into two parts, the forelimbs and the hind limbs. Forelimbs are also known as upper limbs, and the hind limbs are also known as lower limbs. So forelimbs means the arms, the upper arm and the lower arm. So this forelimb is divided into two parts, the upper limb, the upper arm and the lower arm. The upper arm has one long bone called the humerus. The upper arm has the one long bone called the humerus, and the lower arm is formed by two bones called radius and ulna. The upper arm has one long bone called the humerus, and the lower arm is formed of two bones together called the radius and the ulna, and these bones help our hand to turn, twist and to hold the things. Now comes the hind limbs, that is the lower limb. It is also made up of two parts, the upper leg and the lower leg. The upper leg again is made up of a single bone called the femur. We studied that the ear bone is the smallest bone in our body, and this femur bone of the upper leg or the thigh part is the strongest and the longest bone in our body. The weight of our whole body is bare by this longest bone, the femur. And again the lower leg has two bones, tibia and fibula. The lower leg has two bones, tibia and fibula. And there are 26 small bones in the ankle and the foot region. So ankle and the foot region is formed by 26 small bones. Now the next one is girdles, and it is a bony structure that is present in our body, and this connects the limbs to rest of the body. So how are limbs connected to our body? They are connected with the help of girdles. These girdles are two types of girdles are present in our body. One is the pectoral girdle and the next one is the pelvic girdle. So pectoral girdle is it is also known as the shoulder girdle. Okay, it connects the upper limbs to the backbones. Means the hands are connected to the backbone with the help of the pectoral girdle or the shoulder girdle. And the pelvic girdle, it is also known as hip girdle, and it connects the lower limbs, means our legs, to the body. So this is what the skeletal system is. In the next topic we will cover different types of joints that are present in the human body.